Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with a whole host of ship updates for both specific ships and ship features. This is a summary of Star Citizen Live Invictus Launch Week Vehicle Q&A, which I'll also link below if you want to see the full thing. I'll also include some extra info and help with Fleet Week, as there's some workarounds and some other little bits of information that you might want to know. So let's start with ship features. AI blades that will allow you to have AI-controlled turrets on player ships will be coming after the core computer systems and components are added to ships, which is a short-term goal at the moment, getting those in. Modularity is something that is coming for ships as well, and that's going to allow you to change whole bays and rooms and that sort of stuff. They are working on systems that allow the inside and outside of a ship to talk to each other, and they're working on some of the prerequisites basically to get modularity in. I actually expect that physicalized components are also needed for that. They're working on getting multiple physics grids into ships, as well as solving issues with physics grids in general, because you don't want like jittery or quivery sort of like boxes or players and that sort of stuff. In the future, you'll be able to trigger manual red alerts, different lighting states, and sirens. That is the sound of a siren. Quantum fuel tanks will be bespoke and fixed to each hull, so each type of ship is going to have their own very specific quantum fuel tank, and that won't be changeable. But your quantum drive, you'll be able to freely change. Well, for the most part, you'll be restricted by size, obviously, but the idea here is that then you'll be able to choose your quantum drive, and that's the variable that you need to deal with to get the most speed, efficiency, travel distance, or whatever out of your quantum fuel. They are working on ship and vehicle in-ship spawning, so I'm really looking forward to that. That sounds like it's going to be this year. MFD and HUD customization will be a thing. There's an MFD rework going on at the moment, and they're going to be adding persistence to your MFD changes as well in your ships, and they're not going to keep on being reset or whatever every time you get in a ship. They are working on some tweaks to gravlev, so your hover bikes and that sort of stuff. They want them to be able to, on certain planets and moons, be able to just let rip and use their full speed, but obviously there's going to be some places where they actually want objects there to sort of like restrict their movement. They're talking about potentially raising the height of gravlev very slightly, things like that. They're just looking at certain things. Ground vehicles in general will also get more attention on how they drive and their experience later, after the flight model is a little more solid. They are updating ships with docking ports and the newer standardized systems at the moment. The Merlin and Caterpillar are special cases with how they sort of like are parasite craft and a command module, and how they detach and reattach. Taking on capital ships solo is not advised or intended. Specific ship questions. So the Banu Merchantman required more concept work for them to be happy to tackle it beyond white box, and the Defender influenced the Banu design and pipeline, but we will see some work on the Banu Merchantman later though, obviously. It's possible that the Mercury Star Runner might come with early data gameplay or data as cargo, but they can't guarantee that, and it can apparently carry a rover now, which makes it much more appealing to me. The Vanguard isn't getting any major updates in the future. There's going to be sort of like balance fixes and that sort of stuff with all the ships, so bear that in mind. And because fixed weapons are the sort of like neglected at the moment, it sort of makes the Vanguard feel quite underpowered, but you'll see combat changes coming with 3.10, and in the future you'll certainly see fixed weapons getting a lot of love. There are IFCS and flight model tweaks for both space and atmosphere coming with 3.10 as well. So 3.10 is the Q2 2020 patch, which was going to be 4.0, which they now renamed. So that will be coming potentially, hopefully, at the end of June. There is no secret Connie rework. The Taurus, as the constellation Taurus, will appear on the public roadmap when it's closer to completion. It got pushed back for other ships and location priorities. The features needed to get the Hull C in-game are either in progress or about to be worked on. The F8 Lightning will not be available for pledge during Fleet Week. The Polaris is not in active development yet. However, it requires less work than the Merchantman does, so keep that in mind. They just sort of said that that might influence things, so I'm expecting to see the Polaris before the Merchantman now. That sort of makes sense. There will be a larger rework of the 600i in the future, but the 600i rework nor the Polaris are in active development at the moment, if you see what I mean. The 890 Jump has a bug with its cargo at the moment, but that will be fixed in the future. The Carrack is getting some updates in the future with its armoured shutters on the cockpit as well. Fleet Week stuff. So ships that are limited hulls will be sold in 3 batches over their manufacturer's days. So this could be for example, at the moment, the Polaris, but also with like the Aegis Dynamics days, I'm expecting to see some big ships like, you know, Javelins or Idris, that sort of stuff. CCUs, so upgrades, will not be available to upgrade to limited hull ships. So you can't get an upgrade to get a Polaris from your Aurora. So you can't pay the difference. You have to buy one separately, if you see what I mean. You can currently steal the F8 Lightning and F7A Super Hornet if you take out the pilots. You are able to steal those ships. I'm not sure when they're going to lock those out. The Idris does not have an interior, though. And the fleet ships, so the Idris, the Hornets, the Lightnings, and the Javelin, are mostly indestructible. There are some specific instances where you can break things off them, which is quite interesting. If you are having issues progressing past the character creation screen, there are a couple of workarounds. Put the game in windowed mode, then try to create a character, bam, and if that worked, you can go back to full screen. Alternatively, join on a friend. Those are the two workarounds I've had, but I will put the workarounds page, the support.robotspaceindustries page, linked down below, as well as the server status page, because servers have been wonky at best after 3.9.1's development and Fleet Week, but you can see there what's going on with those servers. The Free Fly event has been extended to the 2nd of June because of those issues, though. The sale dates remain unaffected, though, so bear that in mind. I think the sales are going to be finished on the 1st of June at 7 PM UTC. Bear that in mind. And 7 PM UTC is when they switch over the manufacturers that are on the shop floor every 2 days. Hope that was useful and informative. So with 3.9.1 and Fleet Week, do you want to see the F8 Lightning in a bit more detail, or is that too spoilery if I put my footage up of stealing one? The F7A Hornet, do you want to see that or not? To be honest, we can get some pretty great shots and footage without actually taking the ships. We can actually just fly close to them and fly around with the fleet. I'm really enjoying Fleet Week. I'm actually really looking forward to some of the sales and some of the other sort of ships and days. Like, I'm really looking forward to Aegis Dynamics Day, which starts on the 26th of May. I think that's going to be some very cool stuff. And later today, we've got the Anvil Aerospace one. Looking forward to that as well. But I'm interested to know what you're looking forward to. Are there any ships that you want to try out? Are there any ships that you want to see? Anything you're going to be purchasing? Or are you still unable to get into the game at the moment and like, oh, the servers are broken? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. In addition to my May monthly giveaway for an arrow, during Fleet Week, I'm also giving away a Cutlass Blue with Star Citizen game package that Cloud Imperium Games have kindly given me for that very purpose. To be in for a chance of winning that, just comment on this video or any made during Fleet Week 2020 on my channel. I would love it if you share this video around, as it really does help me, as does support through the YouTube join button or Patreon for people that want to go further. Also, I'm a shill for NordVPN, which I recommend for added internet privacy and security. Also, if you're looking for a gaming PC, instead consider Shadow. They provide cloud gaming PCs that leverage the power of the internet and an affordable monthly subscription instead of having to maintain your own rig. Use the code BoredGamer for discounts, but you can find links to everything down below.